Hey guys, today we are going to talk about formatting and editing. You are going to probably want to get a pencil and a piece of paper or notebook to take a few notes. Um, and I'm just going to go through the slideshow with you. Remember that I typically want you to write it down if it is highlighted in yellow. This will make your life a little bit easier because after this video, you are going to complete an exit ticket with some questions about information that we reviewed in this PowerPoint. So jot it down so that you'll have it when you go to complete that exit ticket. And the very first thing we are going to write down is our title, and that is formatting and editing. So we're going to talk for just a second about word processing. Word processing is a type of application software that is used for creating text documents, okay, such as letters, memos, and reports. A lot of people are like, but what is word processing software? Basically, what that means is you guys know it more as Google Docs or Microsoft Word. Those are word processing, those are examples of word processing software. Okay, this is a little bit of an outdated picture because some things, some tools are in different places, but it's generally the same idea. This is a blank document that is open in Microsoft Word. You have your toolbars at the top here with all of your formatting and editing tools. And then you have your scroll bars on the right and across the bottom. Toolbars provide you with buttons that allow you to access frequently used commands. Okay, so you can see here the size and the type of text and whether you want to bold or underline. All those are options that you can select on your toolbar. This is the title bar across the top here. Where it will give your title of your document. If you don't have a title, it will probably say Untitled or Document 1. The menu bar is right below that. You have options in File, Edit, View, Format, Tools. Those all drop down and give you options that you can use when you create a document. This is your cursor. It's not blinking right now because this is a picture, but normally you guys know that your cursor will blink on the screen so that you can see where it is and where your next character will appear. Typing paper. The standard size for typing paper is 8.5 by 11 inches. And just so you know, there are 66 lines per page. 6 lines equals 1 vertical inch. But the most important thing is the standard paper size, 8.5 by 11. Page orientation. This is the direction in which you can print on a page. Portrait is when the height is greater than the width. And here's a picture down here at the bottom of a portrait. And then if you were to print in landscape, it would be long way, so the width is greater than the height. Most word processing documents are defaulted to portrait orientation. Document margins. Margins are these things, these white blank spaces that go all the way around the outside of a document. This is where you cannot type, okay? Header. This allows you to type above the top margin. And then a footer allows you to type below the bottom margin. If you put a header and a footer on a document, and you can see here this document has header and a footer that's getting ready to be put in, then those items that you type in the header and footer will appear on every page of your document. So if your document is more than one page, your header and footer are going to appear on every page. Text alignment. This is the way that the text lines up on the page. Okay. We're going to talk about these four types of alignment. We've got left aligned, okay, and you've got your examples over here on this little piece of paper, this little notebook looking thing. Left align, all the text is lined up along the left margin. Right align, all the text is lined up against the right margin. Center align, all the text is centered between the left and right margins. And then justified is when text is lined up along both margins. Okay. And these are the toolbar buttons. This is what it looks like in Word. To left align, you would click on this button. Center looks like this. Right align looks like this. And then there's justify. Line spacing is the spacing between lines of text in a document, okay? So for example, this is a line of text and then this is a line of text. There's a not a very big space between these two lines, as you can see, okay? So this is probably single space. Single space is when you strike enter one time, which leaves no blank lines between the text here. Double space is when you strike enter two times and it leaves one blank line between text in a document. Triple space is when you strike enter three times, leaving two blank lines between your text. And then quadruple space is when you strike enter four times, which leaves three blank lines between your text. These are all, abbreviated. Whew, had a moment there. These are all abbreviated with shorthand here. So single space is SS, double space DS, triple space TS, and quadruple space QS. So if you ever hear me say DS or QS, that's probably what I'm talking about. And then word wrap. Word wrap is when the text just automatically goes to the next line of the document, which is the default setting in Word and Google Docs. Horizontal centering, this is when the text is centered between both the left and right margin. It is commonly used when formatting invitations, announcements, and title pages. And here's an example. And you guys have already done the formatting invitations activity where we did use the center alignment a lot, and that is horizontal centering. This is how you get to the horizontal centering through the toolbar using the menu. It's not the toolbar, using the menu bar. It is under Format and Paragraph. And then it lets you choose your alignment to centered. Okay. There's a much easier way to get to horizontal centering, and that is on the toolbar with the little picture of the lines of text that are centered. And they're going to show you that right now. There it is, little lines, little box on the toolbar. Vertical centering is when when text is centered between the top and bottom margins. Okay, so here's an example of vertical centering. You have equal space at the top and equal space at the bottom. And you get to it the same way, or actually it's a little bit different. File, page setup, and then you change the vertical alignment under layout, the layout tab, from top to center. Text formatting. When we talk about text formatting, we talk about font. Font is a collection of letters, punctuation marks, and numbers. It looks a certain way. Here's some examples: Times New Roman, Broadway, Arial, Chiller, Elephant. Um, all the text will look a certain way in that type of font. You can also format your font by adding color, making it bold, or underlining it, or italicizing it. You can also use bullets and numbers. Bullets and numbers are often used when you are making a list. Editing is the process of updating a Word document. You make changes, you correct errors, you make it look more visually appealing. Editing features include cut, copy. Cut is where you highlight the text and you right-click on it and you cut the text and you're going to move it somewhere else. Or graphic. Copy is when you're going to make a copy of the text or graphic. And the clipboard is invisible. It's an invisible temporary storage location. When you cut or copy graphics or text, it goes to your clipboard and then you paste it from there. You can't really see it. It's kind of behind the scenes, but it is called a clipboard. Spell check is another editing feature. You guys are all familiar with spell check. That's how you get to it. There's a little ABC check on the toolbar. Or you can go to Tools and Spelling and Grammar. Grammar check, same place as where you'll find spelling check in the tool, under Tools in the menu bar. Thesaurus. I don't know if you guys use the thesaurus very much, but the thesaurus, other than being kind of a hard word to pronounce, it's a feature that you can use to help you find synonyms for words in a document. Okay, so you highlight the word that you want to find a synonym for. So let's say, for example, you use the word big too many times in a document and you want to use a different word that still means big. You could highlight the word big and go to your thesaurus in Word. It's also in Google Docs, not exactly in the same spot, but I will help you out there if you need to. You go to Thesaurus after you've highlighted your word big, and once you click on it, it will give you several words that mean the same thing as big. So it could be enormous or huge, and then you would pick one of the other words to use instead. This is very helpful if you are finding that you are repeating yourself too many times with the same word. Operational keys, these are all the keys on the keyboard that do things other than type letters. These perform operations. Okay, so take a good look at that. Normally I would print this out and give this to you guys and let you cut it out and put it in your notebook, but I think I will just put this slide on a separate document in Canvas so that if you need it at a later for a later assignment or quiz, it will be there separately for you, so you do not have to write this down. These are some examples of how to combine operational keys on your keyboard to do certain things. Control page up, quickly to the top page of first page of a multi-page document. Control and home quickly takes you to the first line of a document. Control and N takes you to the last line of a document. Control and page down moves you to the next page of a multi-page document. So these are just shortcuts, keyboard shortcuts, basically. Function keys, these are all of the F keys at the top of your keyboard. They allow you to access frequently used functions. Some examples are F1, it allows you to access the help feature. F7 allows you to access the spell check feature. And there are lots of function keys that have purposes in Word. All right, guys, that is all for our formatting and editing slideshow. If you guys will please make sure that you respond to the exit ticket that is in Canvas right underneath this video as part of your weekly assignments, then that would be great. And that is all you have to do this week. So make sure you respond to the exit ticket. Thanks and have a great day.